I want you to think about the last time you spent $1,200. Maybe it was a vacation, a new phone, some furniture you convinced yourself was an investment. Whatever it was, I want you to really picture it. Hold that number in your head. Now I want you to understand something. That $1,200 didn't just leave your wallet, it left your future. And not by $1,200, by $100,000. My name is Dexon, and I spend way too much time thinking about the silent ways ordinary spending decisions quietly destroy long-term wealth. If you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right, saving a little, avoiding obvious debt, but somehow still can't seem to get ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what I'm about to show you isn't theory, it's math, it's psychology, and it's probably already happening to you right now. Here's the thing, the most expensive financial mistakes in your life are almost never the dramatic ones. It's not the guy who lost everything in a crypto crash. It's not the woman who got buried in medical debt. Those stories are real, but they're not the ones quietly wrecking the financial futures of millions of ordinary people. The ones doing the most damage, they look completely reasonable. In fact, they look smart, and that is exactly what makes them so dangerous. Let me take you back to 2019. I'm 27. I've got a decent job, I'm paying my bills on time, and I'm feeling good. Responsible, even. I had just gotten a raise, about $400 more per month after taxes, and I did what most people do when they get more money. I upgraded my life to match it. Nothing crazy, nothing flashy. I got a slightly nicer apartment, added a gym membership I told myself I'd definitely use, subscribed to a couple of streaming services, upgraded my phone plan, started ordering food delivery a few nights a week instead of cooking. None of it felt reckless. Every single one felt justified. And that's the trap. Right there, that's the entire trap. Because what I had just done, without realizing it, was step directly into one of the most well-documented and financially devastating behavioral patterns in existence. Economists call it lifestyle inflation. I call it the slow leak that drains your entire future. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. A study from Charles Schwab found that 59% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. But here's the part nobody talks about. A significant portion of those people earn six figures. We're not talking about people in financial hardship. We're talking about people with good incomes, good jobs, and somehow nothing left at the end of the month. Why? Because their spending scaled perfectly with their income. Every raise, every bonus, every uptick in revenue immediately absorbed by a lifestyle that quietly expanded to consume it. No accumulation, no compounding, just a slightly nicer version of broke. And the worst part? From the outside, it looks like success. Okay, so let's get specific. Because this is where I need you to actually follow the math with me, because the numbers are what make this real. In my situation, that lifestyle upgrade I just described, when I actually sat down and added it up later, it came out to roughly $1,200 per month above what I was spending before. Not $1,200 once, $1,200 every single month. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Dexon, but that's just spending. Everyone spends money. That's what money is for. And look, I hear you. That's a completely reasonable thing to think. I thought it too. But here's the reframe that changed everything for me. That $1,200 a month isn't just spending, it's the alternative cost of what that money could have become. Let's run the numbers, and I'm going to be conservative here. I'm not going to use some aggressive return assumption to make this sound scarier than it is. If you take $1,200 a month and invest it into a broad index fund, the S&P 500 has historically returned an average of about 10% annually over the long term. Let's use 8% to be conservative and account for inflation and fees. At 8% annual return, $1,200 a month compounded over 25 years, $1,079,000. Over 25 years, more than $1 million. And I spent it on food delivery, a gym I went to 4 times, and a phone plan that included international calling I used exactly never. I want you to sit with that for a second, because I remember the exact moment I ran that calculation for the first time. I was sitting at my kitchen table late at night. It was quiet, and I just stared at the screen. I had been telling myself for years that I wasn't making any big mistakes, that I was being responsible, that I just needed to earn more and everything would work itself out. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't waiting to make more money. I was spending the money I needed to build wealth on a life that felt like wealth. There's a difference, a massive, devastating $1 million difference. So why does this happen? Why do educated, intelligent, financially literate people fall into this exact trap over and over again? 3 reasons, and I need you to actually understand these, because knowing the math isn't enough. The math doesn't change your behavior. Understanding why you make these decisions is what changes behavior. Number 1, status anxiety. We are wired, biologically, socially, evolutionarily, to care about where we stand relative to the people around us. Psychologists call it social comparison theory. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When your income goes up, so does your social peer group. Suddenly, you're around people with nicer cars, nicer apartments, nicer clothes, and your brain, your ancient, tribal, threat detection brain, interprets falling behind as danger. So you spend, not because you're irresponsible, because your nervous system is trying to protect you from social exclusion. You're not failing financially, you're succeeding socially, and those two things are quietly at war with each other. Number 2, loss aversion. This one's subtle. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman found that the pain of losing something is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. So when your income goes up and you don't upgrade your lifestyle, your brain doesn't register that as a win. It registers it as a loss, a sacrifice. You feel like you're giving something up, even though you never had it. This is why getting a raise and not spending it feels worse than it should. Your brain is wired to perceive restraint as deprivation, and the financial industry knows this. Every car commercial, every luxury apartment ad, every "you deserve this" marketing campaign is specifically engineered to trigger that exact psychological response. They're not selling you a product, they're selling you relief from the anxiety of feeling left behind. The identity trap. Here's a question I want you to genuinely sit with. Who are you without your lifestyle? Because for a lot of people, and I mean a lot, the things they spend money on aren't just purchases, they're identity signals. The apartment isn't just shelter, it's proof that you made it. The car isn't just transportation, it's a statement about who you are. The restaurants, the vacations, the clothes, they're all pieces of a story you're telling the world about yourself. And the terrifying thing about that, when you try to pull back financially, when you try to actually redirect that money toward building real wealth, it doesn't feel like a financial decision. It feels like an identity crisis, like you're going backwards, like you're becoming someone less than who you've worked so hard to become. This is the trap that no spreadsheet can fix, because the math is simple, the psychology is brutal. I want to tell you about a conversation I had with a friend. We'll call him Marcus. Marcus is 38. He makes $140,000 a year. He drives a BMW. He lives in a nice part of the city. By every visible metric, the guy looks like he's crushing it. We were having dinner and I mentioned the concept of financial independence, the idea of reaching a point where your investments generate enough passive income that work becomes optional. And Marcus just laughed. Not a happy laugh, a hollow laugh, the kind that's covering something. He said, "That's for people who started earlier. I've got too much going on right now." So I did the math right there at the table. I pulled up my phone. I said, "Marcus, if you invested $2,000 a month starting today, just $2,000 at 8% return in 20 years, you'd have $1.17 million. He went quiet. And then he said something I'll never forget. He said, "I don't have $2,000 a month." This man, making $140,000 a year, doesn't have $2,000 a month. That's $16,800 a year on a $140,000 income. He's spending $122,200 a year, and he has almost nothing to show for it. Let that sit. Marcus isn't stupid. Marcus isn't lazy. Marcus got caught in the exact same trap at a higher income level. The lifestyle just scaled up to consume everything. The number was different, the outcome was identical. Now here's where it gets even more insidious, because once you've built a lifestyle, once you've created the apartment, the car payment, the subscriptions, the habits, cutting back doesn't just feel hard, it triggers the sunk cost fallacy. I've already been paying for this gym for 3 years. If I cancel now, I'm admitting I wasted all that money. I already upgraded my apartment. Moving somewhere cheaper would feel like failure. So instead of making the rational financial decision, you stay stuck. You keep paying for the ghost of a decision you made years ago, because stopping feels like loss, even when stopping is the only way forward. You're not paying for the gym. You're paying for the version of yourself you wished you'd become when you signed up. And every month that payment goes out, it's not money leaving your account. It's a $100,000 tax on the decision you made 3 years ago. Okay, let's talk about what to actually do. Because I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to give you a framework that actually works. And a framework is this: you have to make the gap visible before you can close it. Step 1. Pull up your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Not to judge yourself, just to see. I want you to identify the categories of spending that increased the last time your income increased. That's your lifestyle inflation number. Take that number, whatever it is, $300 a month, $800 a month, $1,200 a month. Write it down. Then do this. Multiply it by 12 to get your annual figure. Then go to any compound interest calculator, they're free, they're everywhere, and plug in that monthly number at 8% return over 25 years. Whatever that number is, that is what your current lifestyle is actually costing you. Not $1,200 a month, $1,079,000. See the number. Actually see it. Because here's what I know from personal experience and from every financial psychology study that exists on this topic. Vague discomfort does not change behavior. Specific numbers do. When I saw $1,079,000 on my screen, I didn't feel inspired. I felt sick, and that feeling was useful. That feeling did something. Step 2. Implement the 1/3 rule on every future raise. Here's how it works. Anytime your income goes up, bonus, raise, side income, anything, you split it 3 ways. 1/3 goes to lifestyle. You're allowed to enjoy it. You're a human being. 1/3 goes to taxes and practical financial obligations, and 1/3, minimum, gets automatically invested before it ever touches your checking account. This does 2 things. It lets you feel the benefit of earning more money, and it permanently prevents the full lifestyle creep that happens when 100% of a raise becomes 100% of new spending. Most people lose the entire raise to lifestyle within 90 days. This framework captures 1/3 of it forever. Step 3. Kill the subscriptions you've rationalized. I'm not talking about Netflix. I'm talking about the gym you don't go to, the software you don't use, the upgraded phone plan you don't need, the meal kit service you've paused and unpaused 4 times. Pull out your statements. Highlight anything recurring you haven't used in the last 30 days. Cancel it today, not tomorrow, today. The average American has $219 per month in subscriptions they've forgotten about or underuse. That's $2,628 a year. At 8% over 25 years, that's $237,000 from subscriptions you probably won't even miss. And I want to leave you with this thought, because this is the reframe that actually changed how I think about money permanently. Wealth isn't what you spend to feel rich. It's what you keep to become free. The car in the driveway doesn't make you wealthy. The account balance that means you never have to work again if you don't want to, that makes you wealthy. And those 2 things are almost always in direct competition with each other. Every dollar you spend performing wealth is a dollar that can't be building it. That's not a motivational quote. That's arithmetic. Look, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that you need to live like a monk, that you need to cancel every joy in your life and subsist on rice and index funds until you're 65. That's not the point. That's not even a sustainable strategy. The point is awareness. The point is intentionality. Because here's what I've watched happen over and over again to people I know personally and to myself. When you make these decisions unconsciously, when you let lifestyle creep happen by default, you spend 25 years feeling like you're doing everything right and arriving at the end with almost nothing to show for it. But when you make these decisions on purpose, when you look at that $1,200 and consciously choose how to allocate it, you end up somewhere completely different. You end up with options, freedom, the ability to say no to things you hate and yes to things you love. That's not a small thing. That's everything. And the gap between those 2 outcomes isn't income. It's not luck. It's not being born into the right family. It's $1,200 a month invested consistently for 25 years. That's it. That's the whole secret. The question isn't whether you can afford to invest. The question is whether you can afford to keep not investing. If this video hit differently than you expected, drop the word freedom in the comments right now. I read every single one. I want to know who this landed for. And if you want to go deeper on exactly how to set up that automated investment system so you never have to rely on willpower again, I've got a video coming next week that breaks down the exact account structure I use. Make sure you subscribed so you don't miss it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.